Peace to all you brothers, man. I hope y'all are blessed. You enjoying your holidays if you celebrate them, if you're hanging with the family, the kids, whatever the case. Hope you bring in the new year in the right frame of mind. You guys are doing what you got to do. I just moved into my new place, so I didn't have internet for a while. So I'm just getting acclimated, getting some around just tinkering. But I decided I had a thought that I wanted to share with you brothers, and that thought is a lot of you guys are a lot stronger than you actually think you are, and you're a lot more, you don't know your own strength sometimes. And you're a lot more fortunate and favored than you like to believe, right? I started off with a story, right? When I was young, I had a basketball court in my yard. And this is when I was a basketball fanatic. I would play all day, every day, right? Me and my friends, we would play, man, we run plays, we pretend to be our favorite players. I'd play out there by myself until people started, coming down the street to join up. Or I would go to my boy's house and play, but usually we would be at mine because I had a bigger driveway, and we would hoop. And then there was this kid that lived around the corner. And my grandmother was very strict. She didn't really like a lot of certain kids in the yard that was real, the kids that like to curse a lot and real disrespectful. So he wasn't really usually allowed in the yard sometimes. But she didn't like because he used to curse. My friend Mike, rest in peace, right? And Mike would come and we play ball. And one day we were playing, and Mike was really good too. He was a great ball handler, great shooter. He was just a great basketball player in general. So I liked playing with him because he was good. You know what I mean? We play one-on-one and stuff like that. So one day we were playing, and I think we were just shooting around, nothing crazy. It was like the afternoon. I don't remember what day it was. But, I told the story before. We used to live next door to these dudes who used to sell drugs, right? So it'd always be traffic. I'm coming from around the corner. Them walk into the store. They stop and get a shot. You know how the dealers would stop and, yo, let me see the rock, little man. And they take a shot in their boots and their street clothes and stuff. And sometimes they play with us and stuff. But we was young boys, but we was all cool with all these guys. We known them all our lives. And one day, I don't know what happened, but they all just started like hopping the fence, like through my yard. They just started hopping the fence because our houses was pretty much connected. So they're jumping the fence and running, and none of them is stopping to say, yo, run, But in the hood, you see people run, you're supposed to run. But we kids, we're not paying attention. And whoever they was running from decided to cut them off around the corner. So he's standing basically between us and the guy shooting, and he started shooting at them. And literally, man, I don't know, maybe it was divine, but the way he was shooting, I don't feel like I should have survived that. It was like one of those situations where I was supposed to be on the news or something, man, but I survived it, right? And I wasn't really shaken up, but the thing, and I think I made a mention of this, something really hit me. I started thinking about it because not that much longer later, maybe a couple years later, Mike moved to Atlanta and he got killed. Probably around the time, maybe 3 or 4 years later, when we was like in high school, because we was like middle school around that time. And Mike got killed in Atlanta. He got shot. And I was thinking about that tale, and I was thinking about the trail of events, because sometimes maybe if you're favored on a certain path, there's situations that if you may have fell victim to that. And a lot of you guys might have grown up in the neighborhoods and can remember times where something happened and you're like not supposed to be here. Like something was real, you was real close to death, but you were favored and blessed. And your lives play out in beautiful ways. But I thought maybe Mike's path, because of that day, because he was with me, he was spared, but his path would inevitably lead to his demise, because it was already set in motion. But maybe because he was with me and I was favored to live, that we both were spared that day, right? And his time was not too far later. And then I recall another time, long later in life, when I moved to Rio. I think I was probably visiting. I don't know if I lived here yet, but I was here and I was walking in Copacabana. I don't know where I was going particularly, but I was just walking. And I don't know if I might have been distracted, but I crossed the street, and in Rio, for those who've been there, Rio by Copacabana has like two really big main streets and a lot of like side roads, right? And these side roads lead to the beach, or they lead away from the beach. So I'm walking, and these streets are really thin for most part. So I didn't think a bus was going to make a right. And they turn, and these buses, they drive so aggressively and fast, and they turn so suddenly, right? And I remember walking and the bus hitting the turn so fast, man. I literally froze, man. And my momentum, the way the bus came, it was like, in my mind, I kind of like thought like, oh wow, I'm gonna get hit by this bus. And somehow, some way, it was like a force, like something like stopped me or pushed me or stood in front of me or something, man. I can't explain it, but it was like to the point I was like, oof, like that. You know what I mean? Like I walked into a wall, but I was like, oof. Like you felt it. And the bus drove by me like the windows of the bus, the side of the bus was like a foot away from my face. And all I just felt was just like, oof. And I like backed up. Like, what the hell was that? You know what I mean? And it was like, I was so, my heart was beating. I was more scared because of the sensation I felt, not the bus, but what I felt. I couldn't describe. I couldn't explain it. But I knew something stopped me from hitting that bus, right? Or being hit by that bus. And it made me, I was thinking about like our paths. Like some people, a lot of you guys may be meant for things, and you're more favored than you think. You think about all the situations that you've gotten out of, or the times you thought it was like you were at your worst, you were at your bottom, and then you end up, things work out. You know what I mean? Like you have to be very, in this channel's theme since its beginning, there's been a lot about acknowledgement and gratitude, like knowing, being aware of how blessed you are and how many times you may have been spared. And a lot of you guys, I want you to tell me in the comments, like really honestly, like there were times a lot of y'all lived in rough neighborhoods or car accidents and stuff like that, man. I had times when I was riding motorcycles and it was like real close calls, man. And it's like maybe in another parallel version of myself, I was taken out by these situations. A bike. I remember riding my motorcycle and I'm riding on the 10. I'll never forget this. And me and my boy, and I'm trying to get in the HOV lane. And for those who don't know, I had like these mirrors that were on the end of the handlebars, like bar end mirrors, right? This is when I had my R1. And I remember I was trying to get to the HOV and I look over my shoulder, I check my mirror, I don't see nothing. And then I look and I'm about to make the turn, like lean over to go into the HOV, and a car just zooms by me, boom, right? And it's so close, the car is so close that it knocked my bar end mirror forward. The car hit my mirror on the end of my handlebars. And if it was any closer, that car would have knocked me off my bike. I was going about 70 in traffic. I would have definitely got hit. Once I fell, a car would have run me over or something. You know what I mean? And then it was another situation where I was riding and I'm on the 610 freeway. For anybody in LA, I'm coming from Long Beach I'm making my way back home on the 610. They have a lane where you get off on the 610 and you get on the 10, and then the 10 will take me to my house, right? And I'm crossing over like 5 lanes. It's like 4 or 5 lanes. And I'm getting over one lane, get over. The traffic's pretty heavy, and it's not really moving. So then it starts to pick up and it starts to move. So I start to pick up speed. I'm riding really quick. I'm looking over my right shoulder, making sure I can cross over the lane. And when I looked back in front of me, I saw a van that was driving. And when I started riding, I looked back and I'm picking up speed, and this van was at a dead stop right in front of me. I had to literally swerve out of the way. You know what I mean? And it was so many situations like that a lot of us may not be aware of. And those are extreme, but just situations in life. You know, you as a man, you have to possess a certain level of like gratitude, because that gratitude, it will give you like a certain confidence, not an arrogance, but a faith in yourself. Like when you are in these situations or you feel like you're outmatched, but you're not. You're really not. Like anything you want, like even in the scripture says we are more than conquerors. Like you realize that no matter what you could possibly be going through, there's like a solution. There's like a favor, like everything that, and I'm not even being like everything that I really put my mind to, I succeeded to some degree. Like, you know what I mean? Like everything that I tried, and even I look at now where I'm at, my life, the amount of peace that I have in my everyday life, the things that I'm able to do, the things I get to see, the people I get to see, where I get to live. I mean, these were all like valiant, like wild guess. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. Attempts, and I just put faith in it and just did it. And I think a lot of you brothers should really think in the sense of like, have no fear, bro. Like, you know, I was talking to a young brother who was thinking about moving to Sao Paulo, and he's like, yo, I'm a little worried about moving to another country. And I can understand that, right? But at a certain point, it all comes down to if you're willing to like make the jump, take the chance. You know what I mean? Like, have faith in the favor that you have, that things will work out in your favor, and probably better than you would even imagine. Like they're going to work out way better than you could possibly even dreamed of, just because you took that chance. Like sometimes when you do put yourself in these situations, it is such an infinite amount of possibilities for good things that can happen to you just by putting yourself in a different scenario or a different city or even a different country around some different people. It's such an infinite possibility of things that can work out for you, right? Sometimes you have to have faith in like how much you are blessed. And sometimes it's like people that like to do evil, they don't think like that. They just assume that things work out. That's why it seems like a lot of people that are evil and do evil things, they have like the utmost confidence in their evil. Like they just believe that all their evil ideas are going to work, right? And even when they don't work, they just believe it. Like, this is going to happen. If I go in here and rob this bank or whatever, it's going to go my way. That's a crazy sense of confidence in doing wicked things. Like, what about people that do positive and want to do good? Why don't they have that same extreme level of like blind confidence that everything you do is going to work? You understand? Because if you really look back on your life, and a lot of you dudes can look back on your life and replay it over and be like, yo, there's some situations that I can't explain that I survived, or situations that I kind of just was trying to get out of a hole and I end up overshooting so much that I was more on a successful side of the game just because I decided to say, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna go as hard as I can at whatever, and then it ended up being better than you thought. Like something that you wanted, even something material, you was like, I want that. And then you put your mind to it and you actually got it. You might have got the house or got the car or got the girl or got whatever, or the job or the career, or you just did it and it worked out so well just because you have faith in your good nature. Like a lot of you brothers don't have you don't have any bad energy. Like you never fuck nobody over. You never stole from anybody. You don't cheat everybody. Everybody you talk to, you try to give positive energy and love and wisdom, and you try to keep all of that energy circulating around you. You try to lift people up and not tear them down. And I feel like that there's like an account that is building up for you. You know what I mean? You help people when you can. You try to do what you can. You try to live a clean life. You try to avoid living a sinful, lustful, gluttonous, evil, wicked life, right? You try to be honest and tell the truth, and you try to do things the right way. You try to pray. You try to be the best man of God that you can be, right? Even though you fall short. And, even though, like Lord said, it's like you're storing up treasures in heaven. So I think sometimes in the case you like, even though this is the world and you're fighting your hardest spiritually to go against the world and still be a righteous man, right? But I think a lot of you brothers have like a good net account of like your goodness that is waiting to be bestowed back to you or given to you, like blessings that you've like accumulated that you never accessed because you never thought that you can get these things or you can do these things, and that you have so much favor on your side that you literally can't fail. Like it's 100% success. You understand? Your success rate is almost 100%, but you won't try because you don't have faith in your own good nature bestowing you with like good energy back, right? Good things back. I think that's something that you got to really take into consideration, right? Take into consideration when you second guessing yourself, or you feel like you can't be or do or achieve or conquer something. Brother, you might have so much you might be so overflowing with blessings that like literally you could do anything. You understand? You could just make a heart full of a real like a real you could make an attempt where you put everything you got into it and you literally gonna have 100% success rate. You understand? Especially if it's something good or it's something that the Most High wants you to have or wants you to see, And this goes for the young guys too, man. Like it even works with women sometimes. Like that confidence, like sometimes you really don't understand like what your aura and what you are to other people. It's hard to know how you are perceived outside of your own ideas, right? Or what you think of yourself. And you might not realize how people see you or how a woman sees you. And a lot of men, they get the game fucked up because men think they know what women are attracted to. You think that you aren't handsome or you aren't attractive to a woman because you think she's attractive, or innately because of how society has programmed men to kowtow and downplay themselves and have low self-esteem and poor self-image, that you believe that because a woman is attracted to you, that automatically she's out of your league, or she won't look at you and think that you're handsome as well, or you're funny, or you're cool, right? Or you judging her, or that your aura or what you know, or your knowledge, your wisdom, your hustle, how you move as a man won't, women, like it won't compile into this beautiful man that she thinks is attractive, right? Because men sometimes look at women on the surface and really I think that deep down, when women are really looking at certain men, they compile. It's not just one thing. Like you might be handsome or good looking, but then you might be not as handsome as a guy that's like a model or whatever the hell, just physically, right? But then when you combine your swag, your aura, and I said swag, your aura, how you get down, how you dress, how you talk, your story, what you stand for, how you operate around it, how you talk, how you treat, all of that shit like adds points to where you might be a damn near a 9, 10 in her eyes after she talks to you and gets to know you. Because women have to look at attractiveness when it comes down to real shit on a deeper scale. Because there's a lot of men who's attractive, but they not about shit, or they can't do things, or they not imaginative, or they got no G, or they got no style, you know? And you got to believe that what you have as a man, the things that you've learned and done, and the things that make you up are valuable somewhere to somebody, you know? And you got to look at it like that. Now, if a woman looks at you and she sees, oh, you're not this, and she don't find you attractive, fuck it, whatever, who cares, right? But if a woman like gets to know you, right? That could change your whole shit. You know what I mean? I think women are shallow, but I think sometimes men can be a little more shallow, right? And because it's like we're judging women, you mess up when you judge women based on the scale of a man. You can't do that, because you're always gonna put yourself at a negative. Don't do that. Like, please understand that women have a very different way of judging attractiveness as a whole. You understand? It's very different than what men look at when they see a woman. When women look at men, it's a whole other, metric, whole different vectors that have nothing to do with what you think. You wouldn't even understand it half the time. So that's why you can't even judge yourself looking at yourself in the mirror like, she won't think I'm handsome, or she won't think I'm this or that. You don't know. You have no idea, because you don't know what scale that she's moving on. At different points in their life is different things and whatever. But I'm just saying that to say this. Don't downplay yourself. Don't assume that you don't have what it takes. Don't assume that you don't have favor and blessings and things that are waiting for you just because you talking yourself out of shit. You understand? You really don't know. So it's like my life has been been me taking chances for the last 7-8 years, just doing shit and things just working out. Like, I literally look around at where I'm at right now in my life and where I live, and I'll be like, yo, this is crazy. But at the same time, it must be because I'm supposed to have it, or I'm supposed to be here, or somebody wants me to be happy, or wants me to enjoy my surroundings and the people I'm with and have a peaceful life, right? Because we all grew up in, chaos all our lives, in hoods and ghettos and projects and shootouts and heartbreak and failures and letdowns, right? All your life. And then finally you get to a point where it's so peaceful, you're like, whoa. When did everything get so chill? It's like, yo, you already endured all of the strife and the hard stuff, You already been through it. So now you're here to enjoy what you survived, and everything you survived, it just added up to this life of peace that you deserve. You deserve it, bro. Like, you deserve to be happy. Everything is not supposed to be a struggle, right? Everything is not supposed to be heartache and pain and strife and stress, right? Every woman you meet is not supposed to be a straight succubus demon that tries to destroy you. Like, it's not it's not realistic, is what I'm saying. So even if you got to put yourself in a different place or a different country, I'm telling you, the realities they change. Your path changes. Your outcomes change. What was destined for you might change because you put yourself in a different country. Now you're giving yourself a better outcome, a better chance. So I just want to put that motivation in you brothers. Like, just to go into the new year. Just remember that. You know, when you go out, when you out and about, remember you got more aura, you got more style than you think. A lot of you brothers are more handsome than you think. You tell yourself this, you comparing yourself to other dudes on TV or what women is yip yapping about on the internet. Listen, bro, I'll never see none of them with them people. You understand? They can talk all of that nonsense about who they think is fly and attractive and what they with, but honestly, you never see them with the top brass of men, ever. You never see it. They baby fathers, they boyfriends, ex, whatever. You never see them with them. It's always just a fantasy that they say of a guy that used to have all this money and he was handsome and beautiful that used to love her and he gone and she just telling a sob story on TikTok about whatever. But you never actually physically see it with your eyes. Right? So don't let that fantasy that they put out to the world, don't act like that apply to you, because it don't. It don't, bro. You got more style, you got more charisma, you're funnier than you think, you're smarter than you think, you got more that is attractive about you than you actually think you do. So don't play yourself down and have poor self-image. That's a bad thing to have. Have positive self-image. You know, take care of yourself. Make sure everything is on point, that you at your best when you putting yourself in them social settings so that you can feel good and that you can actually let somebody else acknowledge you. And don't, and this is for the young guys too, because a lot of young dudes, their self-confidence is in the trash because they grew up on social media comparisons and, listening to shit that you shouldn't hear, and women talking shit. They literally, their self-image and self-esteem is in the trash. So this is for the young dudes, don't believe the hype. Don't believe that you're not him. Give yourself some credit, man. But I'm gonna leave you with this, man. Shout out to everybody who support the channel, support the other channel, all the brothers on Patreon. This channel finally got monetized, so when you listening to it, hit the hype, whatever that hype in the comments where it says hype it up, and like the video and subscribe and all of that stuff, and help grow a channel of positivity, man. I'm not knocking nobody. Enjoy what you enjoy. I've been doing this for a long time. Just support what's good, man. I'm just trying to build brothers up and give brothers the fuel they need to be the best they can be, man. Because it's a beautiful life awaiting all of us if we just put our nose down and just go for it, man. All right? So this is the Ghost of TMT, man. Shout out to everybody who supported the channel. I got love for you, brothers. You got the links to everything that's connected to me in the description. And if you follow. All right? Be blessed. Happy New Year. Everybody stay strong. It's TMT. Cover your 6. Peace.